Let's talk about the number one issue that I help clients to deal with when they are first starting their physical wellness journey. And this is something that I also wrestled with as well. So let's dive in. Okay, so you have just started your physical wellness journey. Maybe you've tried it before and gotten discouraged, and you've gotten kind of in this cycle of depression of like you dive into a new project or a new program, whether it's weight loss or even something else, and you're like, I really want to get this, but I've tried so many things before and I just don't know if it's going to work. So let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So as we go along, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and what I want you to do is really think about them for you. I would suggest waiting until after the video to answer them for yourself, but take notes as I'm talking so that you can better assess and process as we go through these things. So the first one is, what are your expectations about weight loss or whatever goal you're trying to achieve? But specifically for today's talk, I'm going to talk about weight loss. So what are your expectations specifically about weight loss? So on average, it's very normal to lose about 1 to 2 pounds a week. And that's with following a plan that is based in science, based in good research, good sound research, and has the proof to show that it's going to work. So your base should be about 1 to 2 pounds a week on average, okay? So just keeping that in mind. If you've lost a pound and you're like, oh, I've only lost a pound this week, and I know that's what they said, but you know, it's still just a pound and it doesn't feel like enough, and I should have lost like more than that because I've been wanting to follow this and I've been trying to follow it. So even when that self-talk starts to jumble and it starts to go and we're like, I should have lost 5 pounds this week or more than that, really base yourself, like bring yourself back down and remember that it's just 1 to 2 pounds a week. So that is going to be a slow process, maybe slower than you would like, but remember, we're going for lifestyle here. We're not going for immediate fix. Immediate fixes tend to be based in things that are not good for your body. Your body shouldn't lose weight super fast. And you know, there's more I could say about that, but that's the basis, is like it's 1 to 2 pounds. So keep that in mind as you're going through your weight loss journey. Next, you'll probably be in that honeymoon phase for like the first week of a new program, nutrition plan, whatnot. And then after that first week, we tend to get discouraged, or we start to face new obstacles and we're like, oh, this is just not working. You know, I can't keep it up. You know, it's going to end up just like all the other plans, and that honeymoon phase is shot. And that's when we start to cheat ourselves and we're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because it's not working anyway. I'm just gonna eat this because it's not working anyway. And we end up self-sabotaging ourselves. We end up becoming that self-fulfilling prophecy that we feared was going to happen. But we did it to ourselves, and we have to own up to that sometimes. And I have been there, I have felt that way, and it is so frustrating. But really, when you just stick to it and stay consistent with it past that honeymoon phase, even when you're not seeing the results that you want to see immediately, even if you're not losing that 1 to 2 pounds a week, there may be other factors at play. And that's why we're doing this, to try to uncover some of those things. So for instance, you have a deeper issue that's going on. I worked with clients that they started the nutrition plan and they're like, I'm still not losing weight, I'm still not losing weight. They go and see their doctor and realize that they have something medically wrong. There's something medical deeper in their body that is not agreeing with something that they're eating. And so people have uncovered different thyroid issues, food intolerances, things like that that can really inhibit your weight loss. But by doing this process and by eating a whole foods plant-based diet, and you eat just the foods that your body actually needs, and then you can start to say, okay, I'm doing this, This is proven to work. This is an amazing method that my body should be able to use all of this, and it should be working effectively. If it's not, there's something bigger at play that we can uncover and dive deeper into. And just as an example of that, for me, I noticed that I had a dairy intolerance. I had lactose intolerance. And so anytime I have dairy, I feel slower, I feel more lethargic, more tired, and it doesn't agree with my body, and my body bloats, things like that. And that was inhibiting my weight loss. I would also say things like having any kind of gluten for some people. Even though whole grains are a good thing to have, certain ones can maybe not agree with certain people, and that may be something that you need to address. Or for some reason you just may have an issue with some kind of whole food that is not agreeing with your body, and that's okay. That's just something that there may be genetics at play. There may be things that because of long-term issues of having the wrong things growing up, sometimes they lead to intolerances later on, or hereditary. Your body doesn't adapt. I'm getting into science now. I nerd out on this stuff. But your body may have adapted, your heritage may have even adapted to not having these kinds of foods, and so it's not used to how to break it down. Maybe it needs more time, or maybe it just doesn't digest it well. Even soy products, so those are natural, those are plant-based, right? But they may still lead to issues with your body that are not agreeing with you, and so you're not getting the results because your meal plan has too many of the things that your body's like, I don't like this, I can't process this, I can't digest it. And so by doing this, though, that still doesn't mean that this is a bad plan. It doesn't mean that the meal plan doesn't work, or that the whole foods plant-based diet doesn't work. It means that your body needs something more specific. And by doing this and starting it, then you can dive deeper into, okay, now what's beneath that? And then we can take that out of your diet, and you can just continue to eat the other foods that are still nourishing. So it doesn't mean it's not working. It doesn't mean that it's not good for you. It just means that we may need to reassess and make sure that you're eating the stuff that's fueling your body. Let's see, next one. Also, I want to address the woman's time of the month. Put your fingers in your ears, guys, if you don't want to hear about this. But it's really not that bad. It's mainly just that on our menstrual cycles, we can tend to bloat, we can tend to retain water, and our skin can tend to break out. All of those things may be happening. And that may lead to retention of water or supposed weight gain. So like you're 4 weeks into your program, and then you get your period and your body starts to bloat, and you're like, all my results are shot. It's not working. I don't know what the problem is. I'm trying so hard. Plus your hormones may be higher, which makes it more dramatic and harder to balance, depending on how you handle that time of the month, or depending how your body's hormones start to react. But this is definitely something that I would say that I do, and I see it a lot with clients that I work with. We see our bodies bloating, we're like, oh my goodness, this just sucks. It's not working. And that's not the case. It's just that it's that time of the month. Those are completely normal reactions for your body to have, and it's not something to scare you away or discourage you. It's just a part of your body. And there are different things that may be leading to that as well. Again, looking at different nutritional factors. Are there certain foods that cause you to bloat or cause you to have more issues than you would regularly have? Even people, as a vegan, I have a lot of legumes, and legumes are like beans and lentils and things like that, which can lead to a lot of bloating, especially for people that are not used to it, and their body, it's a lot of fiber for your body to deal with sometimes, and so that can lead to some bloating as well. It, again, doesn't mean that it's not working or that it's not good for you. Maybe trying to find a balance of other kinds of protein sources to help your body not have quite as much to process. And those are all beginner mistakes. Those are all beginner things that we learn as we're doing it. But that's part of the growing process. So it is a growth process. This is not, it's not working, I need to immediately give up. It's what's working for my body, what's not working for my body, and keeping that growth in there of like, okay, how can we make this work? What do we need to readjust? And continue to go from there. Okay, so I said we had questions that I was gonna have you answer. So the first one was, what are your expectations about weight loss? The second one is, what are you expecting will change for you once you lose weight? And by this, I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, we can tend to think that weight loss is kind of the fix-all to our problems. Okay, so I'm gonna lose this weight, and then I'm gonna have better relationships. Then I'm gonna have more friends and more acceptance. Then I'm gonna have a higher self-worth. Once I lose weight, I'm gonna love my body. Then once I lose weight, my life will be more together. And, it's all just gonna start working because I lost weight. That's not the case. If anything, losing weight does help to reveal things about yourself, and weight loss became a metaphor for a lot of things that I knew I needed to grow through for me personally, what I've helped my clients to work through. It does help you to do a bit of self-discovery, because you're like, I was holding on to these bad habits, and by sticking with something that was strong and proven, I've begun to see these results, and they begin to have that positivity that if they can apply that to other areas, then they can see that growth as well. But by no means does that mean that losing weight is going to solve these things for you. You're still going to be you, even once you've lost 20 pounds or 40 pounds. You're still you. So you still need to deal with the shit that you need to deal with, Like if you're having unhealthy relationships, if you have a low self-worth and you're like, my body is ugly, self-hatred is an awful way to try and fix your body. It's not gonna work, because you have to love your body enough to fuel it. When we hate our body, we're like, oh, I'm gonna destroy it, I'm gonna eat all this shit, and it's gonna, it just feeds the low self-worth, because we hate ourselves, we hate our bodies. But when you start loving your body, that's why I always say it starts with the mental stuff. It's not about the physical well-being. When you get into nutrition or you get into fitness, it's all about the mindset that starts behind it. I love myself enough to eat healthy. I love myself enough to work out today, because I want to fuel it, I want to feed it, I want it to grow, I want it to mature. So by you getting to the root of that and learning to love yourself, that's going to help to fuel that physical well-being. So I really want to address that. So the question was, what are you expecting will change for you by losing weight? And when you answer that, begin to look at those areas about, what can I do to help bring myself closer to the self that I want to be, not just in my physical well-being, but also my mental well-being, my environment, everything. How do I bring all of those together? Because that's that holistic approach that we're talking about. This needs to go a lot deeper than just physical well-being, because that's not where it starts. It starts in the mind. So yeah, and there are so many things that I could get into about how to improve that self-worth, and I've gone into them in other videos, so please check out any of the mindset videos that I have, because those are going to help you to get to that deeper place as well. Okay, so those are 2 questions, and now I need to double check this third one. Okay, so this is the third question. Who are you looking to create those expectations for yourself? And this is So dangerous for so many of us because we look at other people that are doing well, and we look at other people that are strong physically, mentally, and we're like, oh, I want to be like them. I'm going to do everything that they're doing, and I'm going to create my expectations based on their results and how they do it in their lives. Because we're like, I want what they have, so I need to do it the way that they're doing it. And that's actually completely not true. I mean, maybe not completely not true, but your journey will not look the same as someone else's. The way that I do nutrition or the way that I do fitness is going to look very different from somebody, for instance, that has 5 kids, 6 kids, 1 kid, running a 10-employee business. You know, I'm self-employed and it's just me, and that's it. So when I'm talking to people in different places that have a lot of different things going on, different people living in your house, roommates, friends, you know, extended family living in your house, how is that going to affect how you have to do things? So you can't just do it like somebody else does it. And I think the danger is that we look at somebody else and how they're doing it, and we're like, I can't do it like them. I just can't do it like them. You know, they have it all together and they're making it work. And if I do the things that they're doing, I still feel bad. I still don't feel joy. So when you chase somebody else's joy, you're always going to be disappointed because it's not your joy. It's not what's going to work for you. So you have to find that for yourself. What is your sweet spot? How does it need to look? How does fitness, how does nutrition, how does weight loss need to look for you to feel balanced and for you to feel happy and at peace? So the way that I do things is very different from the coach that I actually worked with. So she had this, you know, she had all these other things going on. She was very like fast-paced and energetic, and I would say I'm energetic, but in a different way. And so she's like, you know, working in all these pockets of time and doing all these things, and I was like, oh, I can't keep up with that. Oh my goodness, that's so much work. And if I did it that way, I would feel exhausted. And I tried for a long time. I tried and I felt exhausted. I was like, this is not working for me. But I was trying so hard to do it the way that she did it because it brought her joy. And I was like, well, if it brings her joy, eventually maybe that way will bring me joy. No, it's not the case. You need to find what works for you. And find your rhythm, find your pattern. So no matter who you're following on social media and the way that they're doing it and how happy they seem, realize, first off, you see the highlight reel, and I try to be transparent about this in my own stuff as well when I'm struggling, but I feel like sometimes I still don't do a good enough job of it. But just know that's the highlight reel. I am here, and other motivators are there to inspire you and to encourage you. Does that mean that they're perfect? Does that mean that they don't struggle? Does that mean that they don't hate their workout or hate their nutrition plan someday and they get really frustrated and discouraged? No, it just means that they're showing you the highlight reel because our intention is to encourage and inspire you. And we do need to be more transparent about that. So I apologize if that's ever been the case. But let's see. So when you are on your own weight loss journey, we really need to look at putting the blinders back on, or just on period, just putting the blinders on, take it one day at a time, and say, I am following the plan. I am just following the plan. I'm sticking with it every day, and I'm being consistent with it. And by the plan, I mean like the nutrition plan, the fitness plan, whatever. Then we can reassess and adjust as needed for your specific needs, for the specific issues that you're running into, and we can customize it a bit more. But your blinders need to be on. If you are jealous or if you are comparing yourself to others, it's going to lead to a lot more discouragement and a lot more depression. It's going to just get you in a bad headspace, and that's not what we want. That turns into self-deprecation. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not as cool as she is. I'm not as consistent as she is. Oh, she's doing 20 reps and I can only do 2. Oh my goodness, I have so far to go. Focus, focus, focus. It's on your journey. The only person that you are looking at is where you are right now, not even who you were 5 years ago. So maybe you 5 years ago was like really super healthy and you've gotten away from that. Nope, that's in the past. Where are you today? We're not comparing to your previous self. We're not comparing to other people. Where are you starting today? And where can we build from there? So yes, doing what's best for you and your body, because that is going to help you to gain confidence. That's going to help to alleviate that depression and see your success and celebrate that success. You know, when we look at other people, we're like, oh, I'm just not as good as them. I'm not as far along as them. So when we look at just ourselves and we have those blinders on and we're like, oh, I did 2 reps last week and this week I did 4. Yes, victory. I did 2 more than I did last week. And then if we start to take down the blinders, we're like, oh, but they're doing 10. Oh crap, I gotta keep up. Oh, now I'm too sore. Oh, now I can't keep up, and now I can't continue tomorrow, and now I'm just, we get all in this negative headspace. Keep the blinders on, keep yourself focused, and live in line with your values, with your needs, and put on the blinders, let yourself make those kind of decisions and just nix them. Okay, I think I've talked about that enough. This is all about you. This is about your choice and what's best for you. And I say that not with a bad intention, because sometimes we look at selfishness and we're like, oh my goodness, I'm being selfish by putting myself first. And I would say to an extent, it can get to a bad level. And, that's not what we want either. But we're talking about a healthy selfishness, if you've ever heard of that. This is a healthy selfishness where we need to self-care. We need to make sure that we are living balanced and in line with our values. And then we can better adjust for relationships, for those around us. And once we feel more energized, especially I know a lot of you are therapists, you're mental health professionals, you are givers of some kind, whether it's as a mom, a teacher, a nurse, or a therapist. Those are like primarily who I end up talking to. And for those of you guys, you are givers. Like your heart is for giving for other people. And this is that one time, that one situation where you're like, if I don't put my needs first, then the rest is gonna go to shit. It's gonna be shot. Because they talk about like in an airplane where the masks come down and they say put the mask on yourself before you put it on anybody else, because you can't give to others unless you're taken care of. This is not martyrdom. This is not, oh, I'm sacrificing myself for the betterment of other people. No, if you sacrifice yourself for the betterment of other people, you're gonna die. You're gonna collapse. It landed me in the mental health hospital. It landed me with suicidal ideation. It lands a lot of us with that depression of like, it's never enough. I'm just so exhausted. I can't keep giving anymore. And we get so depressed. And that's because we're not being selfish. So anybody tells you that you're not supposed to be selfish, I'm going to kindly say punch them in the face. Don't really punch them in the face, but it is important for us to advocate for ourselves and say, I need to take care of myself in this moment, and I need to make sure that I'm good. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing, and hopefully you can encourage other people to do the same, because that's what I realized. The more that I was selfish, not the more that I was selfish, again, there's a balance in it. But once I started advocating for myself and saying, these are my boundaries, this is what I do, and I'm here for you, but it has to fit within this, the more that you'll find that you're actually more energized to give. So yeah, I'm kind of going on a tangent about the deeper levels of giving and depression, but I hope that those 3 questions really help you to see more of a balanced way of dealing with weight loss and the mindset behind it. Definitely things that I've gotten into. So again, those 3 questions are: what are your expectations about weight loss? What are you expecting will change for you by losing weight? And then who are you looking to create those expectations? Are you looking to yourself, or are you looking to someone else? And how can you live more in line with your values and with your needs, rather than trying to live up to somebody else's expectations that they found to be right for them? So I hope that this helps. Please leave any comments, any questions below. In the description section, I also have links to my other social media profiles where I go live frequently. I love sharing in video, so I definitely utilize live a lot. And I'm always posting in my Instagram stories about foods and ideas and recipes, tips and challenges throughout the week. I will also say that I have the Nutrition for Life course information down below, so you'll be able to link to that. And if for any reason any of the links aren't working, just follow the one that is specifically for my website, and it'll have information updated in there. So again, I do individual coaching for just individual wellness needs. I do group coaching, as well as course material that you can also get. So look into all of those options down below and let me know if there's anything that stands out to you. Usually what I do is set up a discovery call where we can talk about what it could look like for you and how you can grow through this season, what your needs are, what your plan should start out being, and we can talk about all the different options that you could dive into. So it's very free-flowing. There's no pressure to buy or to, I'm not going to manipulate you into anything. Just trust me on that, because that's very much against what I want to do. I want to find out what's best for you. I want to make sure that you are getting the needs treated that you need. And unfortunately, I've seen people manipulate into different things because it's more financial gain for them. And that is the farthest thing that I want to do to you. So remember, this discovery call is really about discovering what your needs are and where it's going to be the best fit for you, even if it's not with me. So I hope that helps to take some of the stress and the pressure off of setting up a call, but the link for that is also going to be in the description. So I love you guys. As always, click the subscribe button and make sure you get notified each week. Click the like button if it's something that is beneficial for you, and I will see you again next week. Thanks.